Let's take a look at graphing piecewise functions on a TI-82 calculator. And let's take a look at our first problem. We got f of x is equal to x minus 3 and x plus 1. And this is if x is less than negative 2 and x is greater than or equal to negative 2. Now we want to write this, the x minus 3 with parentheses around it, the x plus 1 with parentheses around it, and parentheses around the conditions. We got x is less than negative 2 and x is greater than or equal to negative 2. We want to drop the f and write it exactly like this. And we'll put this on y1 and we'll put this on y2. So let's see what this looks like. So I'll go to my y equals, clear. I'll do a beginning parentheses, x minus 3, closing parentheses, beginning parentheses, x. We'll go into our test menu. So we do second math, and I'll choose less than, which is the fifth one, so I do 5, and then negative 2, and closing parentheses. I'll go down to y2, and I'll put my beginning parentheses, x plus 1, closing parentheses, and then beginning parentheses, x is greater than or equal to negative 2. So x, and then my test menu, second math, greater than or equal to is 4, and then I put in negative 2, and closing parentheses, and then graph. Okay. It only does these reasonably well on a TI-82. The vertical line shouldn't be there. But other than that, the rest of the graph is correct. So we have a piece down here that looks like that. And try it again, graph. It does that every time I Alt-Tab away from it. Then we have a piece that's about right here going up like this. Okay, well it looks like this when x is less than negative 2. The less than means it doesn't include this point, so there should be an open dot, open circle. It looks like this when x is greater than or equal to. So it includes this point, so this should be a solid. And that'd be our graph. Let's look at our second example. We got f of x is equal to 2, negative 2x, x squared plus 3. If, and we got x is less than negative 2, and negative 2 is less than x is less than 0, and x is greater than or equal to 0. Again, I'm going to put parentheses around each piece, so I'll put parentheses around 2, parentheses around negative 2x, parentheses around the x squared plus 3. I'll put parentheses around the x is less than negative 2, and down here I'll put parentheses around the x is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, now this piece right here, I'll do beginning parentheses. Cover up the less than 0 with your finger, and read this from right to left, and it says x is greater than or equal to negative 2. So x is greater than or equal to negative 2. So again, I covered up the less than 0 and read it from right to left. Now there's an implied and here. Now if we cover up the negative 2 is less than or equal to, then we just have x is less than 0. And that's how we have to input it in. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Go to y equals, press clear on those. Do a beginning parentheses 2, closing parentheses. Beginning parentheses x is less than. So do second math, go into test menu. Less than is the 5. I'm just pressing numbers in front of it. Negative 2, close parentheses. Down arrow. And I'll put in my beginning parentheses, negative 2x. Closing parentheses, beginning parentheses, x is greater than or equal to negative 2. So I do my x key, greater than or equal to, I do second math, go into test menu. And I'll choose 4 because that's the numbers beside it. Negative 2. Go back in my test menu, second math. And then you see the across top says test and logic. We want to write our logic, and we want to do in or on and. and then x is less than 0. So I do x, go to my test menu, choose 5 for less than 0, and close parentheses. Now down arrow, and on y3 I'll put my beginning parentheses, x squared, plus 3, closing parentheses, beginning parentheses, x is greater than or equal to, so I do second math, and greater than or equal to is the fourth one, and 0, and then closing parentheses, and then graph. And you have to envision it without those vertical lines. So our graph is going to look like, press graph. There we go. Maybe I shouldn't alt tab and just click. Okay. So that looks like this right here. And then there's a piece right here going down like that. And then there is a one that looks like this. Again, the vertical lines should not be part of this graph. Okay, well, our first one, it looks like this when x is less than -2. Less than means it doesn't include it, so that should be an open dot, open circle. This one is -2 is less than or equal to. Less than or equal to means it includes this, so this one's solid. But less than on this end means this is a open dot, open circle. And x is greater than or equal to means this is solid. So that'd be our graph. So a TI-82 is not perfect in terms of piecewise functions. You get some extra garbage in there. Looks a lot better on TI-84s. That's graphing piecewise functions on a TI-82 calculator.